North Korea. It's a place that has a lot of bad things going on there, not the least of which is a family-led dictatorship that has been going on for decades, and a desire to keep most of their people oppressed and make it seem like they're not. They're failing, but they don't care. And despite all the bad things going on within the country, there are a few elements that are rather interesting, including a $900 million palace that no one is currently living in. But how is that possible? Why would it be without a tenant given that cost? Allow us to show you the reason that no one lives in North Korea's $900 million palace. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Kumsasan Palace of the Sun. So let's get started with the obvious question of what palace is no one living in? The Kumsasan Palace of the Sun, formerly the Kumsasan Memorial Palace and sometimes referred to as the Kim Il-sung Mausoleum, is a building near the northeast corner of the city of Pyongyang that serves as the mausoleum for Kim Il-sung, the founder of North Korea, and for his son, Kim Jong Il, both posthumously designated as eternal leaders of North Korea. But more on that later. The palace was built in 1976 as the Kumsasan Assembly Hall and served as Kim Il-sung's official residence. Following the elder Kim's death in 1994, Kim Jong-il had the building renovated and transformed into his father's mausoleum. It is believed that the conversion cost at least $100 million. Some sources put the figure as high as $900 million. And given how North Korea is about honoring its great leaders, we honestly wouldn't be surprised. Inside the palace, Kim Il-sung's embalmed body lies inside a clear glass sarcophagus. His head rests on a Korean-style pillow, and he is covered by the flag of the Workers' Party of Korea. Kim Jong-il is now on display in a room close to his father's remains and positioned in a very similar way. At 115,000 square feet, Kumsasan is the largest mausoleum dedicated to a communist leader and the only one to house the remains of multiple people. Some halls inside the building are up to 1 kilometer, 3,300 feet long. It is fronted by a large square approximately 1,600 feet in length, and it is bordered on its northern and eastern sides by a moat. So as you can see, it's a rather large and impressive structure, but again, why is no one living in it? Well, that would be because of the facts we've already presented. It is a mausoleum, and to live in a place dedicated to the fallen leaders would be seen as very disrespectful. To be clear, that doesn't mean that you can't go into it. How to get inside and who can go inside. Foreign visitors can access the palace only on official government tours. Photography, videotaping, and smoking are not permitted anywhere inside the palace. The Palace Plaza, though, is open all week and is a venue for national rallies. The building is accessed via an underpass adjacent to a tram stop across the road. Upon entering the building, visitors, both foreigners and North Korean tourists, have to walk over a shoe cleaning service. They are asked to check all personal belongings except their wallets into a cloakroom, and then are given a numbered ticket to claim their belongings when leaving. Until 2015, visitors had to emerge in a long hall with 2 white marble statues of the Kims bathed in soft red light. This was replaced by a 3D-styled portrait of the Kims with Mount Paektu in the background, with national and party flags flanking them. Marble arch columns line the hall, and visitors are told to stop at a yellow line on the floor, and after a few moments of contemplation, are beckoned into another room. Here they are given small speaker devices that play a narration of the Korean people's grief when Kim Il-sung died. The room features bronze-like busts of people grieving. Finally, visitors go into the lift to the top floor in the white and gray marble-walled building. They are filled with a dust-blowing machine and entered the rooms with the preserved remains of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il lying in state. A red rope barrier runs around the transparent crystal sarcophagus. Visitors are sent in groups of 4 and are told to bow at Kim Il-sung's feet, to his left and then right side. Visitors then file into a museum room containing awards and honors that are given to Kim in his lifetime by foreign countries, universities, friendship associations, etc. The sequence is then repeated on the lower level, where a nearly identical set of rooms contain the sarcophagus of Kim Jong-il, and rooms wherein similar memorabilia of him can be seen. Seems a bit much, right? But that right there is the problem. You're thinking about it like yourself, but you need to be thinking about it from the standpoint of the North Korean government. The need for exposure and truth. Here's the thing, when it comes to North Korea, they are desperate for not just attention, but to be seen as a true power and someone to respect. Now, that is a bit hard to do on the world stage when you are oppressing people, blasting other ways of life, starting a war that involves much of the world's biggest powers, and are generally not nice to people, just saying. But that's the issue. North Korea does not care what the world thinks about it on a certain level, and thus they go and try to project their happy nation, and say that other nations like South Korea are jealous of them and are just trying to undo them. Plus, in regards to how they treat their own people, well, like most dictators, they go and assume that they are the only ones who knows what is best for the people, and thus try and tailor things to make it clear who is right and who is wrong in their eyes. And in a way, that's why the Kumsasun Palace of the Sun exists, because they're trying to show the people who the true great leaders are, or in this case, were, and that their legacy will lead North Korea to its next great age. Except that's not how anything works, because again, the whole family are dictators. So as such, they only inspire fear. But don't tell that to them or else you'd be in trouble. Restrictions and guidance. If you recall some of the elements of the tour that is done within the Kumsasun Palace of the Sun, you will notice some curious things, including how not only can you go there on a guided tour, you cannot bring anything in for photo taking, video making, and so on. You are also told what to do at certain points to bask in the glory of the fallen leaders. These kinds of restrictions and guidance is something very common in North Korea as a whole. They are so desperate to go and get appreciation from the masses and ensure that the outside influence doesn't paint a bad picture of them, that every tour within the nation is staged in a way to make it seem like they're a great nation with happy people from top to bottom. They're not, and the palace is a great example of why. Because the nation could have put the $100 million or $900 million to the people and helped them get a better life overall. But instead, they made a monument to the person and now people who helped make North Korea one of the most hated nations in the world. But they fear rebellion or a full-on revolt, so they'll continue to guide people on how to act around them, or else face the consequences. Special items. Adjoining rooms within the palace are filled with some of Kim Il-sung's possessions, as well as gifts and awards that he received from around the world. There are no signs or information in Korean here. Awards include degree certificates, only one of which is from a Western university, Kensington University in California. Kensington was an unaccredited university, typically considered to be a diploma mill, which, following 2 years of attempts to close it, was ordered to close by a California regulator in 1996. They reopened that same year in Hawaii and then dissolved by a Hawaiian court in 2003. A peace medal from Japan lies next to his Medal for the Victory over Japan, awarded to him by the Soviet Union. The room has large paintings and photographs of Kim Il-sung meeting world leaders during their visits to North Korea and during Kim's trips abroad. The future of the palace. So since no one can live in it and you can only do tours of it, what is the future of the palace? Well, as Kim Jong Un and his family are in charge, they will continue to keep it upright and make sure that it is respected whether people like it or not. But should change come to the nation, it might just get a makeover that is more befitting the men who helped make it. Until that point, though, it will remain and will be evermore a symbol of the state of North Korea. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at the palace that is worth almost $1 billion and yet isn't a place that is truly lived in? Do you find it shocking that North Korea would do a thing like this for their fallen leaders? Or do you think this perfectly shows how North Korea is and how dedicated they are to living up to the memory of the ones who made the nation? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe and we will see you next time on the channel.